An organ transplant, 5 human lives linked by superpowers, thought it was fictional. Who would have expected to consider the book extreme? The Superclass set of 5 is the type of movie that both laughs and thrills the heart, and the aunt is attached to the brothers. There is an ambulance that is rushing the organ donation body to the hospital in 20 minutes. Organ donors commit suicide when they are young. Doctors had to quickly operate to remove the organs as soon as possible. They paid special attention to this person's tattoo. But they also saw his face as familiar as in the book, but they also quickly took the process of taking organs, but they talked a lot. After taking it, everyone was tired, because this person's body was as hard as steel and had broken knives. Suddenly, a female nurse kept screaming frantically. It turned out that the donor's body had begun to glow and then disperse into the air. There was a father and son who were going to the hospital. The doctor couldn't help but wonder when the girl had just finished a heart transplant and was healthy. He is so healthy that he does not feel nauseous or tired like people often suffer. The doctor found it strange, but when she felt well, she could go home. After that, the little girl was taken by her father to eat when her hand had a strange mark. The father thought she was hanging out with the golfers, but she thought it was a side effect after the operation. The father also specially bought her a heart rate monitoring device. Although the daughter understood the story and told her father what to buy for the money, a girl named Wansel loved golf. But now he has a heart attack, so the father doesn't want his child to be in danger anymore. He kept thinking about the scene where his daughter had a heart attack and lost her limbs. It turned out that both her mother and grandfather had died of a heart attack. So now that the daughter loves and goes away, the father can't live. Elsewhere, there was a group of people who were performing the ceremony that seemed to be bold as well. It seems that they are trying to save a super-rich old man named Zhang Chun. He was about to die because most of his organs were damaged, and his daughter was eager to take care of the last transplant for him. And he was transplanted to the last billion organs that needed to be replaced, and suddenly he was healthy again. He also manipulated the transfer tube and complained that he was hungry, so he wanted to eat barbecue, and a strange tattoo also appeared on his hand. At the Wansel place, she was in the practice room, but was only allowed to sit in one seat because her father did not allow her to practice golf. Even though the little girl pleaded earnestly, he still didn't say no, because the father was busy tonight, so he gave his daughter money. Tell Wansel to go buy new shoes and then obediently go home. And remember to buy something healthy to eat with you. Wansel looks at them as a kid. It seems that the boy is a little weak in skills compared to Wansel. The zombie boy is hard to get annoyed when he is taught by his sister. But when Wansel saw the violation, he kicked the sandbag with his whole leg dangling. Make Wansel have to supplement Zombu as a new golf talent, so as not to be scolded. On the way, she kept looking at strange tattoos. She saw her friends running and jumping. She felt very happy. But I received a message from my father telling me not to run away at all. Not surrendering to his father, Wansel stood in front of the slope. She ran at full speed up that slope, ignoring her father's words. His phone sent notifications that his child's heart rate was high continuously. But the Wansel ran uphill faster than the shipper who was driving the motorcycle because it ran too fast, so the Wansel was blown into the sky. At that moment, the tattoo on her hand was also complete, and Wansel stepped on the ground but was run down the slope. At first, I saw the bullets quickly, but they stuck to the pile of clothes that people were drying on the side of the road, and as soon as I got out of the pile, I came to the end of the slope. The little girl tried very hard to brake in time when she also hit the truck, but the car almost overturned. Fortunately, she helped him in time. When the driver came down to see, there was only his fingerprint hidden. The daughter is not understanding why her father is so healthy. Even though he has pancreas, he still eats beef quickly. He also cared about his daughter, who had taken care of him so hard in the past time, and he fed her warmly. But he said that when his father was in a coma, he said all sorts of things to disparage him. Thus, she was calling her daughter the most miserable daughter in the world like him, and then she went to see the old family doctor. Then he couldn't understand this case and guessed that the organ donor to the old man had a special body, for example. A certain young man has seen a video of Wang Xiao running warm up a slope, and this girl is being cursed by her father for wearing a uniform. Wang Xiao wanted to wear a uniform because it was comfortable and spacious. In general, the stubborn son and the father often scolded. When his father left, Wang Xiao came back to the slope. And there was a certain young man who was planning to secretly film her. Wang Xiao was as fast as lightning and caught him at the battle. She had seen this border uncle wandering around the dojo for a week now. During the search, her uncle saw a strange tattoo on his wrist. As a middle school student, Wang Xiao had his uncle's hand bandaged, and the two sat down to talk about the tattoo. It seems that they all realize that they have superpowers corresponding to tattoos on their wrists. This uncle's superpower is to blow everything in front of him. It made Wang Xiao not understand who the donor with superpowers was after all. And the uncle said that in addition to the two of them, there would be 4 people with superpowers who received from the donor. So they had to find the rest of the people to get more clues at an electronics store. On TV, it is reported that the 17th Sports Festival for transplanted people is also about to take place. There was a young man sitting on a chair watching the news, and his hand also had a tattoo. He snapped his fingers, and the electricity and waves disappeared completely, and wherever he went, the electronics were operating haphazardly. He also controlled the game console to win, then took the prize money to go shopping for branded goods. At the Congress, Wang Xiao participated. She ran the sprint and won the race. Wang Xiao received a reward of a pair of Nike shoes. When he returned to the palace, the uncle looked for the other person, and he met an aunt who delivered yogurt that looked fast. Uncle Ji-sung asked to see her grandmother's hands, but there was nothing to spread. But when her grandmother turned her back to squat, there was a strange figure near her buttocks. So after eating and cursing perverts, Wang Xiao received a heart transplant along with his uncle Ji-sung received a lung transplant. Showed his strength to explain to that aunt. So this aunt introduced herself as Suniel, but it was not clear what superpower she had. After the surgery, she only saw that her skin was more beautiful and thought it was a superpower. But Ji-sung doesn't believe it and thinks that Suniel hasn't discovered it yet. It turns out that Ji-sung researched a lot about superpowers and asked Suniel to find the rest of the people with him. Because the group of power is gathered, it will explode, and suddenly a young man who can control electronics appears. He read all the information that everyone was afraid of, and now he knows his name is Ki-jong. Ki-jong is unemployed but introduces himself as a conductor and is grafted with garbage. She is both young and handsome, so her aunt Suniel asked Ki-jong to be the leader of the group, but Ji-sung bitterly disagreed. Being criticized for being unemployed, he said he was a screenwriter, but did not say that he failed the whole episode. The whole group quarreled over garlic, and then Uncle Ji-sung left angrily. Lao Jiangchun was too rich, so he kept making losses. He thought that he was a great emperor, so he appeared like a king. He had a friend named Jialim, who claimed to be the god of heaven and earth. These two giants kept chasing each other and listening to the tweets. Jialim said that his daughter wanted to keep the pharmaceutical company, but Jiangchun thought that none of them in their family were good. Jialim knew that his daughter paid each believer, so he offered to pay the old man 500 if he gave them to him before Easter. These two people still couldn't agree on the amount of money, so they rushed in and strangled each other. And then Jiang Jun made Jialim fall to the ground, and at that time he also completed the tattoo on his wrist. He touched a tree, and it died instantly. Under his house was a large factory. He was asking employees to work overtime, so he was opposed, and suddenly an employee had an occupational accident. Then he came to apply his strange tattoo in front of his hand to the wound on the employee's hip. This process also caused his hip to ache. It seems that the employee's wound has been successfully healed, and then the tattoo on his wrist has also been completed. The daughter saw everything and began to believe in superpowers. As for Guan Xiao, he was practicing with Ji-sung, and Ji-sung was aiming to blow badly, so the two uncles gave up. When he went to sit down, Ji-sung said that among the people who received organs, there was an old villain. He would kill the rest of the people for the purpose of gaining power. Suddenly, Aunt Suniel came to tell her that she knew what she was capable of, but she couldn't really do anything. Guan Xiao and Ji Sung were drinking temple yogurt while eating and ironing her grandmother, when suddenly Qi Zhang called for help in the superpowers singing group. It turned out that he was being caught by a gangster for cheating. When he was about to report to the big brother, Ji Sung suddenly appeared. He immediately rushed over but rushed away instead of saving Qi Zhang. Appearing later were Guan Xiao and Siniel. But he saves Qi Zhang by saying that his father is a martial arts master. Ji Sung forgot to bring a piece of paper, so he showed his face and asked, causing Qi Zhang to say that the person was not his friend. When he finished walking out, Ji Sung declared that Qi Zhang deserved to be punished. The rescue was unsuccessful, so the gangsters rushed in. So Guan Xiao quickly poked Ji Sung's nose, causing him to sing a little to send the troops away. So he successfully dealt with the army. They quickly left the area when the group of big men arrived. Strangely, there was another strange black car chasing after him, and the three of them jumped on the pagoda milk cart. Then Guan Xiao pushed it with all his strength so that they could escape, followed by the big gang and the black car. Qi Zhang used his ability to destroy Google Maps on the black car. Then he also controls traffic light signals, making everything chaotic. Only a group of them successfully escaped from danger. But the speed was too high, causing Guan Xiao to fly into the sky. After a while, she tried to catch up with everyone. But at that time, everyone was in danger because the car rushed around. Fortunately, Guan Xiao held onto the car in time so that they wouldn't crash into the wall. Qi Zhang and Ji Sung threw yogurt at the big cars to cut off their tails. And the black cars filmed this scene. Finally, the four of them landed at a barbecue restaurant in a state of heavy breathing. As soon as he came out of the restaurant after dark, Ji Sung quarreled with Qi Zhang over a disagreement. These two people didn't like each other, so they let go of their unpleasant words. Ji Sung was angry and hit Qi Zhang, which made him angry and began to peel off Ji Sung. It made the guy feel humiliated and wanted to punch Qi Zhang even more. But Qi Zhang used his control power to stop him. Then he accidentally drove the yogurt truck and crashed into Siniel. The atmosphere at this time was quite tense, so each person went in each direction. That night, Guan Xiao returned and was scolded by his father for not being able to contact him. He thought that his daughter was playing with a friend and kept talking. Makes Guan Xiao sobbing because he has no friends because of his father. She felt very suffocated by her father and wished he could treat her differently. Meanwhile, Siniel had arrived at the hospital. She met the wife of a patient, who praised Siniel for a successful kidney transplant, and told two people that because Siniel died, she had to live well. Make Neil kneel down and beg me to always be grateful and try to do good deeds. But the wife invited Neil to successfully commit suicide once, not to make anyone die unjustly. The daughter saw the video of the superpower group and asked the old family doctor to research for him, and he would be promoted. The next morning, Ji Sung confided in Guan Xiao that he felt that his ability was bad. Then asked Guan Xiao to apologize to Siniel. Then the little girl did not agree and told the uncle to go and apologize himself. At the workshop, the head of the department did not agree on ensuring occupational safety. There should be an employee who is working in a dangerous condition. Siniel wanted to give up and not find his superpowers anymore. Everyone has their own suffering and wants each person to go their own way. Suddenly, there was an explosion coming from Jiang Chun's mansion. Everyone began to scatter, and the staff of the ambulance were trapped. In the meantime, the group of superpowers slowly groped inside the workshop. The ambulance kept calling for help, but the situation was urgent. The leader of the group, Jacques Sun, wanted to come to the rescue, but he couldn't. Suddenly, Guan Xiao appeared and kicked the door, then put away the gas cylinders that were being blown up. But the gas in it is very dangerous, so no one can enter. Then Ji Sung went in alone to save people. But he immediately turned around and asked for safety glasses, but there was too much smoke to see the road. Qi Dong used his ability to identify the phone of the car, and said that he would show Ji Sung the way inside. However, Ji Sung thought that he ordered him, so the two of them quarreled again. Aunt Siniel stood in the middle of the anger, and cursed the two of them. So Guan Xiao used an air bellows to let Ji Sung inside. and Ki-dong stood outside showing them the way. Finally, they succeeded in getting the truck out. He was unconscious, so Jacques-sun used his power to save him. Make everyone realize that Jacques-sun is the competent person they are looking for. Aunt Siniel held everyone's hands and began to connect. The inner ring began to glow and many other black streaks appeared on the body. But the situation was so tense that they had to leave this dangerous place. There was a thing that he was still in there because he went to get water for Jacques-sun. An explosion frightened her and fled to hide. The wagon was handed over to Ji-sung to take out. The other 3 people went inside to save Ki-dong. People are worried because there are no oxygen tanks. Then Ji-sung came back and hugged the oxygen cylinder here. He appeared cool with his goggles. And Ki-dong was trapped in the room in a panic because of the gas. Ji-sung finally appeared to save Ki-dong, but because of that guy, he was suffocated. So I had to kiss him to breathe to save him. Ji-sung finally pulled him out. With the position of the person who saved him from death, now he is completely at peace. After that, the group of 5 people gathered to eat. Through this case, 5 people have become more connected to each other. That night, Guan Xiao went home, but saw his father again. She told her father that she already had a friend, but he didn't care much. But only reminded Guan Xiao to go on vacation early because there is a follow-up appointment tomorrow. The next morning, he was waiting for the elevator at work. Then I met the old man Jiang Chun in the elevator. Something like Jiao Xian introduced himself as the leader of the stage equipment team of this old group. But when he reached out his hand respectfully and was caught by Jiang Jun, the tattoo was revealed. Jiang Shun saw it, and he turned around to shake his hand. He always asked if he had a tattoo. Then he said that he was lucky to have a liver transplant recently. So old Jiang Chun asked him if he had any strange abilities. Jiao Xian didn't say that he had any ability, but only saw that he was younger. So old Jiang Chun left when he knew Jiao Xian's information. That night, the spring horn was taken back for surgery. And it was his daughter who cornered him to do this. Suddenly, Mr. Jiang Chun came to save the spring enlightenment. But asked the doctor, if you subtract a little liver, can you regenerate it, right? Then he put his hand in the neck of the spring horn to kill people himself. But strangely enough, it doesn't work with spring horns. He called a doctor, but cut his throat, causing his body to turn black and old and die. At this time, he realized that superpowers had no effect. So he immediately had the doctor take the liver of the spring and transplant it into him. So the daughter was angry and sent her juniors to find the other 4 people to get their organs. So the black juniors went to arrest them one by one. Guan Xiao's father saw that his daughter was in danger. Then he came out with the position of number 1 in golf to protect his children. But nothing has hurt his back because he ate the bottle on his body. So the SEO secretly followed his father to help. He can punch little, but Guan Xiao punches a lot. Yet he did not know that his daughter had power. But I was under the illusion that I could get rid of all these people alone. Guan Xiao also wanted to hide it, so the cooperation went smoothly. Then the father and son also got rid of all the juniors. The 3 Siniels, Di-sung and Kai-jong, were arrested and imprisoned. And the old man Dong Chun received a liver transplant, so he became a handsome young man, making the daughter panic at her father's appearance. But the tattoo is still on the wrist. Dong Jun went to take a bath when suddenly the water at the feet of the spirit and the light went out. He walked to a place where the round stone was glowing. It was brighter and brighter in the night, and there was a strange white smoke as if someone had dragged them inside. Dong Chun was dragged in by that smoke. But it turned out to be just his imagination. What he punched back was the mirror in front of him. New believers flocked to Dong Chun's mansion in large numbers. He asked his daughter where they were locked up, but she didn't answer. He wants those people to become real relatives. It is true that the desire of the rich is very strange. The daughter reminded her father to do so and left the excavation. But basically, he didn't care, for he had gone down to the cellar where his daughter was holding the other 3. Because Dong Chun now has the appearance of a handsome young man. So the captain of the guard didn't know that this person was Dong Chun. and he didn't respect his son's ability to punch the soldiers. Quan Xiao constantly texted to ask people, but did not get a reply. As for Kai Zhong, he used his power to open the door. Then he was tied up on the bandage and taken away. Kai Zhong is passed in front of Ji Sung and Suniel, but does nothing. In a time of crisis, he used his power to message the official that he was being taken hostage. He carefully left the location for the little girl, and even opened the door to Suniel's cell. Immediately, Kai Zhong was taken to the operating room to remove the garbage. He kept shouting and begging everyone not to take his eyes. Before being anesthetized, he sent the locator note to Quan Xiao. Quan Xiao at home wanted to come and save everyone, but his father stopped him from giving it away. Suddenly, the father realized that she had superpowers. But I realized that because of her farting smell, I understood. Speaking of which, after 3 years in the hospital, she had no friends. Having just been discharged from the hospital, he made new friends, which made him feel strange. But he thinks that the SCO officials make friends with the leaders of the road to help. Then he cried and hugged Guan Xiao. All the way she had to say that her friend was taken hostage. So her father took her there. But he told his daughter to hide behind her father. Suniel managed to save Ji Sung out. But when he came out, he went to find the toilet again. The suffering is that Zhang Chun has been successfully grafted with armor. Then he sat and snapped his fingers like when he picked up the signal. Fortunately, he only got one eye from Qi Dong. Because he was still healing, Qi Dong suddenly woke up, so I only got one eye. As for Zhang Chun, it was still spicy when he couldn't get the other eye. When Qi Dong is lying on the band, does anyone hold hands? It turned out that Zhang Chun had also just been operated. Qi Dong begged Zhang Chun to heal him. It was also because he couldn't see the road, so he didn't know that Zhang Chun had also been operated on. His wrist has also faded the tattoo. Inside the Zhang Chun house, the celebration was jubilant. Everyone cheered with enthusiasm for the holy Zhang Chun. But he appeared with a youthful appearance that surprised everyone. Zhang Chun used his electronic power to break the notice to everyone, when everyone was still not understanding what was happening. Then Zhang Chun looked at his old painting on the wall. He jumped from the stage to the wall, then punched down the wall in front of everyone's admiration, then jumped back to the middle of the stage, declaring himself to be an almighty saint, so everyone believes in him. Zhang Shun went to the group of people who were sick in wheelchairs, then grabbed his leg so that the top leg had returned to normal. He trembled and stood up, which made everyone admire. Then Zhang Shun saw the girl with asthma next to him. He came to treat her, so she didn't need to carry an air tube anymore. Make people believe that Zhang Chun is a holy spirit. There was a man who took off his shirt and wished Zhang Chun to save him. Then he came to heal the man. However, the healing power made Zhang Chun painful. Even so, he drank a drink of water and recovered. And the more believers believe in his ability, everyone bowed to the devil to be saved. After the execution, he aimed at the remains. But Di Sung, who had just read his name, was blown away by Zhang Chun. It was also thanks to Suniel's ability to transfer from the official to him. Zhang Shun went to the chair to drink water, but he blew 2 bottles again, causing the crane to turn into a stone and throw the baby cross. Because of the loss of connection, the dislocation becomes weak. And finally, being bored by Zhang Chun and fainting, Zhang Chun came to catch Suniel. He connected to the tattoo, and it was connected to the stone. So Zhang Chun pitted Suniel. As long as she agrees to connect his strength, she will be the owner of the yogurt company. But when the line with everyone appeared, Quan Xiao kicked Zhang Chun to a seat. Aunt Suniel linked the power of the eunuch to save the province. After talking for a while, he suddenly got up. Zhang Chun has said all the reasons why he wants to be a saint. The reason was very shaggy, and it was revealed that everything he had done before was fake. It made Zhang Chun listen but was even more mentally shocked, because he was scolded by him when he had to sacrifice many things. The tree is more than when the stream has lost one eye. Quan Xiao signaled to blow himself away. Then Sung blew a blow that made the little girl fly away, causing him to fly around the workshop, and then she returned safely, thanks to the 4 superpower associates to help. True unity is the strength of brothers. After that, Guan Shao went to the same place with Zhang Chun and had the support of Qi Xian. He used his ability to control the foot of the house to collapse and block Zhang Chun. It made Zhang Chun have to be very miserable to dodge the stones, but then he was also hit by a pile of stones. It was sad that he also had superpowers, so he blew up those stones, causing the rock to hit the gas cylinders and start exploding. On the stage, there was also a strange phenomenon, and the statues below are collapsing. Signing the current when he sees the electricity in it discharged, he remembers the past. He once touched the power tower at a science exhibition, so he was abandoned. Everything began to flow to the stage. However, those fanatical believers thought that the god Zhang Chun was in the middle of rebirth. Only someone who knows as well as Zhang Chun understands that if the gas pipe explodes, the whole area will die. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a swollen body appeared. He strangled Sung and threw it away like a ball. He was turned off by Zhang Chun because he was going to kill all the followers on it. He didn't care much and thought that he could make new believers. So he also punched Zhang Chun out. Wang Xiao wanted to come and punch him secretly, but he grabbed him with only one hand. The old man squeezed Wang Xiao to learn black blood to threaten Sun Niao. The yogurt lady was extremely shocked when she saw this. She panicked and came to see the little girl's situation. Then this little girl was dying, and the tattoo on her hand was also open. Everyone was worried to see Wang Xiao's situation. Then he bowed his head and surrendered to Zhang Chun. When Zhang Chun stretched out his hand to welcome her, then she screamed to death and grabbed his hand. It turned out that everyone had linked together behind Sun Niu's back. They wanted to suck out the power of Zhang Chun to revive Wang Xiao. As a result, Zhang Chun was taken with all his strength, and Wang Xiao woke up with an intact circle tattoo on his wrist. She rushed to punch Zhang Chun and let him land on a power pole there. He was electrocuted into his body, but he escaped. Even so, he was no longer Wang Xiao's opponent. Wang Xiao dodged all the blows he gave. Even if he was punched and thrown away, Wang Xiao also fed Zhang Chun onions. The two of them fought each other without knowing when to stop. Then Wang Xiao slammed into Zhang Chun to the ground. Dangling through dozens of layers of concrete seemed to bury him. Everyone was overjoyed that they had killed the villain. But the dancing followers above put everything in danger of collapsing. Zhang Chun knew that he had to scatter the lightning rods to survive. But he wasn't an engineer, so he didn't dare to act. Qi Zong suggested that people empower themselves. I don't know if you can do anything, but you have to try it first. After being infused with power, he alone rushed into the electric pillar to absorb it. Then the lights in the area suddenly went off. After he was thrown out of the power pole, the light came back on. Qi Zong managed to save everyone. Therefore, he and Ji Sung clapped their hands to make peace, not quarreling anymore. Then everyone decided to hold hands to return the tattoo to each person. Of course, there was also an old man who was dragged in, but he still wanted to return everyone's ability. Wang Xiao couldn't withdraw her hand from him when she called her father. And then the father appeared and kicked him away. Everyone who succeeds has the ability to regain the ability on the wrist. Then looking back, the old man was already breathing heavily on the chair. Zhang Chun had come to cure Zhang Chun, but he stopped him and asked if he wanted to be the sect master. But he refused and said he just wanted to be a nurse. When he left, Kai Dong controlled the chair back to the stage. Make the believers who have the opportunity to choose the true face of the old man Zhuang Chun. This set of years has gone out safely, experienced a hard life, making everyone understand each other better. And they decided to name the group of 5 people High Five. Okay, the movie is coming to an end. Please spend 3 seconds to subscribe to the channel to support us. Thank you for watching our channel. See you in the next movie.